We made a lot of progress this spring. I'm pleased with the progress that we made, a lot of positions in terms of player improvement. I'm not necessarily satisfied with where we are, nor should I think that anybody on our team should be satisfied with where we are. I think that every individual would be able to point to something that would be able to improve, their performance. I think the biggest thing moving forward that we would like for the players to focus on is, this 5 or 6 weeks that are coming up in college football is probably the time when players are away from each other more than any other time in the year. We work out in the summertime, we have off-season program in the wintertime, we have spring practice in the spring, we have the season in the fall. But finishing finals is the most important thing right now, but then the players will be apart. So I think the most important thing for our players to do is focus on the individual improvements that they need to make, all right, so they have the best opportunity to outperform the people that they have to play against next year. And that starts with our first game against Louisville. But we have some great competition all year long in our league, so whoever we have to play against, and that should be what the players, the individual players, are looking to do, because those individuals' ability to do that and how much we can do that will certainly determine, how strong our team will be, because the individuals on our team will make the team be what it is. A little bit difficult, this spring with some of the players that we had out that are really good leaders and guys that really impact other people. But it created an opportunity for other players to have to step up and do that, and I was pleased with, the progress that we made in some of those areas. So all in all, we made a lot of progress this spring. Not completely satisfied with where we are, but certainly excited about the opportunities that we have to try to improve, over the summer and the individuals over the next 4 or 5 weeks on their own, so that, when we come into fall camp, we're going to, have a stronger team and more individuals that can go out there and play winning football.
Coach, we're going to start here on the left with Michael.
Yeah, how would you assess the play of the quarterbacks with Mac and Jalen today?
Well, we have the first offense playing against the first defense. All right, the first defense is probably a lot better than the second defense. And we probably have, if you're going to evaluate our team, we have a little less depth on defense based on all the players that we have that we lost. So I think that probably the second offense was a little bit better than the second defense. So when I say they were better, they were actually, better all the way around. They were better in pass protection. They were better in, terms of their production and performance, and that's why they won the game. I was not disappointed in the way Jalen played. I think, we've got some guys that can rush a little bit, and I think that even though we're rushing 4 guys most of the time, there was way too much pressure in the pocket for the quarterback to be able to operate like we'd like. I think Jalen made some good plays in the game and made some good throws. Obviously, I'm sure if you talk to him, he'd say there's things that I wish I could have done better and would improve on, and that's what we'll go to work on. So, we've been very pleased with the progress that Mac has made. So that's good for us too. That gives us more depth at that position.
Coach, all the way in the back with Scott.
Hey, Nick. You always have a unique perspective in spring because you're behind the line. You have somebody relaying the calls to you. I'm just wondering what you look for with that perspective with 6, 7 new coaches and what you're looking for player-wise too.
Well, the big thing I look for is we obviously simplify the game for the players. They probably had maybe 5 or 6 different calls that they could make on defense, most of them the most basic calls. We really limited the formations and plays that we could run on offense. Hopefully so that we would get better execution. So when I'm looking there, I'm really looking at how well did we execute fundamentally. And because I think in the end, that's what helps you play winning football. And there were times when I thought we executed really well. Obviously other times when we had some negative plays where there were things that we could have done better. But, all in all, I feel pretty good about what I saw out there today. But we obviously have some areas of our team that lack depth. So we're going to need to fix those either with players coming in or to improve the players we have. That's the only options that we have, and that's certainly what we'll go to work on trying to do.
Coach, right down front here with Lane.
Coach, you talked about guys taking these next few weeks to get better. When you look at Jalen now, what do you want him to do in these next few weeks to get better?
Well, I think, Jalen, I think it's benefited him to have Dan Enos be his quarterback coach. I think that he gets a lot more feedback more quickly because he has somebody just watching him, and I'm talking about fundamentals now. And I think that he has a good understanding of the offense, and I think his ability to, make decisions, trust the pocket, are things that we want him to work on. Those things are not things that he can work on his own. And the things that he can work on his own is basic fundamental footwork and accuracy, which I think we'd want all of our quarterbacks to do over this time.
On the left of Cecil.
Coach Joseph made 5 field goals today, and could you tell us how he's been over the entire spring?
Yeah, he's done a nice job all spring long. I think that, Tua started out being the holder early on, and then Mac took over, and Mac did a nice job and improved. But I think a lot of times, like the other day in practice, you have to have a quality hold to make a quality kick, because that guy's counting on the ball being a certain place at a certain tilt and all that. I thought the holds were good today. I think that, Joe missed 2. He didn't miss them by much. The wind blew 1 out. I was encouraged by how he did all spring long. He showed good consistency in both scrimmages and in practice when we do teamwork on field goals. So I've been encouraged by that.
Front right here with Alex.
You were talking, obviously, the defensive pressure that they got. Can you just speak to Raekwon and Isaiah and kind of what they were able to do against that first-team offense?
Well, Raekwon is a good player because he's hard to block. Isaiah Buggs is a good player because he's hard to block. I think Quentin Williams made a lot of improvement this spring. I don't think the second line could put nearly as much pressure as pass rushers. I think Terrell Lewis can rush. I think 33 can rush when he comes back. I think 47 can rush. We've got a couple guys that are really good blitzers and rushers, and Mac and Dylan. So we're athletic and faster. We just need more depth. We don't have quality depth at a lot of positions on defense, and I think that's going to be a real key for us to be able to develop that and improving some of the players that we have who made a lot of progress in the spring. I think LeBron Ray made progress. But we just got work to do when it comes to depth on defense. And in the secondary, we don't even have enough guys on scholarship to go out there too deep with guys on scholarship. So the 4 guys coming in, some of those guys are probably going to need to develop and contribute early on.
Coach, we're going to wrap things up with Chris Walsh here.
You mentioned secondary. I wanted to ask you about their progress over the course of the spring and how much more confident you are with having so many new guys in new places.
Well, I think that everyone improved. Trayvon had a really good spring. Xavier McKinney had a really good spring. Deontay was solid in the 2 games that he played, and he was solid this spring. Savion made a lot of improvement. I still think he's not quite sure about what he's doing all the time, but the fact that he was here this semester and this spring probably was, a really good thing for him. Shaheem Carter made a lot of progress. So these guys made a lot of progress. I think Jared Maiden made a lot of progress and did a nice job. Now, he played with the 2s today, but he's played with the 1 some. So those 6 guys, past that, we need to make a significant improvement in the players that we have and the guys that we're bringing in.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.